Okay, let's just get right to it. We're starting with a pretty bold claim, and honestly, it might even sound a little alarming. The world we live in, the modern world, is literally designed to break your focus. But the top 1%, the highest performers, they guard it like it's the most precious thing they own.
Ever have one of those days? You know the one. You put in a full 8 hours, maybe more. You're bouncing from emails to Slack messages to meetings and back again. By the end of it, you're completely drained. But when you look back at your day, you can't actually point to a single important thing you got done. You were busy, for sure, but you were productive.
And if that sounds like your life, here's the first thing you need to get straight. This is not your fault. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined. Your brain is actually under a constant, quiet attack from a world that's obsessed with being connected all the time, a world that values quick, shallow tasks over the deep, valuable work that actually matters. All right, so let's get into it. To figure out how to fight back, we first have to understand what we're up against. And the key idea here, from author Cal Newport, is the difference between two kinds of work: deep work versus shallow work. This right here really draws a line in the sand. On one side, you've got deep work. This is when you're completely locked in, zero distractions. It's the kind of work that pushes your brain to its limits, the stuff that actually creates something new and valuable. It's hard to do, and it's hard for someone else to just come in and replicate it. Then you've got the other side of the coin, shallow work. This is all the stuff you can do while you're half distracted. It doesn't really take much brain power, it doesn't create much value, and let's be honest, pretty much anyone could do it. And here's the enemy in plain sight. This is what being busy looks like. It's living in your inbox, reacting to every single ping and notification, sitting through meetings that go nowhere, and that black hole of mindless scrolling on social media. This is the shallow work that shatters our attention into a million tiny pieces. So, okay, we get distracted. What's the big deal? Well, the cost is way, way bigger than just a few minutes lost here and there. Let's really look at the science behind what these constant interruptions are actually doing to us. Just look at that number for a second, 23. What do you think that represents? So here it is. According to some eye-opening research from the University of California, it takes, on average, more than 23 minutes to get back to your original level of deep focus after just one interruption. Think about that. That one quick question from a coworker, that one little notification that pops up. It can blow up nearly half an hour of your productive time. And the reason why is this thing called attention residue. It's a fantastic term. When you switch from one task to another, a piece of your brain doesn't make the jump with you. It stays stuck on that first task. So now you're trying to do the new thing, but you're working with less brain power. This is the scientific proof that multitasking is a total myth. You're not doing two things at once, you're just switching back and forth, doing both of them badly. Now, I know this all sounds kind of grim, but here's where it gets exciting. Here's the good news. In a world where basically everyone else is drowning in distraction, your ability to actually focus becomes a superpower, for real. And this quote from Cal Newport just nails it. It's basic supply and demand, right? You have this skill, deep work, that's becoming more and more valuable to the economy, but at the exact same time, fewer and fewer people can actually do it. That means if you're one of the few who can cultivate that skill, you have a massive, massive advantage. The best way to think about it is this. Your ability to concentrate is like a muscle. And right now, for most of us, it's pretty weak because we never train it. But when you do train it, when you practice deep work, you get the ability to learn really complicated things fast, and you start producing work at a quality and speed that puts you in an elite category. You stop being just busy, and you start being truly effective. So, how do we train this muscle? How do the most successful people on the planet actually do this? Let's get practical. Let's look at the actual playbook that the top 1% use. And what's great is that there's not just one right way to do it. There are a few different approaches. You've got the monastic style, basically total isolation. Think of a novelist who has no public email. Then there's bimodal. You dedicate specific chunks of time, like whole days or weeks, to deep work, the way Carl Jung did at his retreat. There's rhythmic, which is probably the most popular. You make it a simple daily habit, like a 90-minute block every single morning. And finally, you have the journalistic approach, where you fit deep work in whenever you can. It's the most flexible, but it's also the hardest to pull off.
But here's the one thing they all have in common. This is so crucial. Top performers do not hope for focus. They don't wait for a quiet afternoon to magically appear. They schedule it. They put it on the calendar with the same seriousness as a meeting with their most important client. The point isn't to be a robot. It's to be intentional about where your most valuable asset, your attention, is actually going.
Okay, this can all feel like a lot, so let's make it super simple. Here are 3 things you can do literally today to get started. 1. Go to your calendar and schedule your first 90-minute deep work block. Treat it like it's unbreakable. 2. When that time comes, turn everything off. I mean, everything. Phone in another room, email and Slack closed, all notifications silenced. And 3. Know exactly what you're going to do. Have one wildly important goal for that block of time.
So, we'll end with this question. In our modern economy, the ability to do deep, focused work is becoming the most important skill. That means your attention, your focus, is the most valuable asset you have. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, who are you letting steal it?